Well, hello, everybody. My name is Chris Voisey, and I am a tutor in speech and communication. And at the moment, I'm actually representing Blue Frontier Path Online Academy in this interview where we are talking to the tutors. So what is Blue Frontier Path Academy? It exists to assist you in your studies, whatever they might be. So if you're struggling with maths at grade 10 level, if you're struggling with an MBA, putting a thesis together, if you are struggling at all sorts of levels, please have a look at the Blue Frontier Path website and platform and see what it is that this organization has to offer. So as I was saying, today I'm in the interview role, and I'm delighted to interview and welcome Mr. Rejoice Matloha, and I hope I've got that name right. He will correct me if I haven't. And so Rejoice, it's great to have you with us this afternoon. Tell us a little bit about your background. I know that you are a language specialist. I know that you've been teaching in the field of language, particularly Setswana, but also other aspects. Tell us a little bit about yourself, and let me throw a couple of questions at you, if I may.
Thank you very much, Chris, and thank you to all the viewers that are with us today. I'm Rejoice Matloha, and I have been a teacher for well over 20 years. And in the 20 years that I've been a teacher, I've been able to teach Setswana and English. And because of my love for Setswana, I have decided that it should be important over and above the qualifications that I have. Really, I have extracted out of my qualifications those language aspects that I think will assist me in helping the people that should really speak Setswana in the manner that they would love to. And although my target in coming on board with the team is to ensure that those people that are in the suburban areas, those people in the townships, that for some reason or the other, and we do know that historically, most of us do come from the rural hinterlands of the country, and we came for economic reasons into the cities. But in the process, we've lost the mother tongue touch that we should have had throughout. So I want to assist those people. There are parents who are saying, hey, if I had known, I would have allowed a situation where my children would have learned Setswana or isiXhosa or isiZulu at this level, but we missed that point. So I want to come in and close that gap to say, okay, our little ones are very proficient, very articulate in English, but when they get back home in the villages to speak to the mom, the grannies, and the grandfathers, it becomes a problem because then the communication is, there's a problem with the communication between the grandchildren and the grandparents. So we are saying, let's close that gap. Anybody who wants to help the young ones, just with spoken Setswana. I do know that some people would want to go to an advanced level where they could use idiomatic expressions and all those kinds of things. Well and good, that we can assist with. But the target now is that little boy, that little girl that is in a former Model C school, and they are very good in speaking English, but we want to assist them. We do know that English is the language of learning and teaching at school. However, at home, how do we assist them to communicate with their next of kin, with their cousins in Setswana? So
I think that I hear what you're saying, Rejoice. I think this is a fantastic thing. I'm obviously English speaking. I'm a South African, born in South Africa, born in Durban, KwaZulu-Natal, and I am an English speaking South African. So I was born into an English speaking home. And, very often they talk about the potential complexities of communication in South Africa, because we have 11 official languages, and then of course all sorts of other dialects and things like that. But that can be a problem, because in communication we need to be clear, we need to be understood. But it's a tremendous gift that people have more than one language. I am in a similar field in that I am training and tutoring in communication, how you present yourself. And I think to speak more than one language is just such an enormous gift. And also it helps the way you think. It actually opens your mind to other ways of thinking. So to have a
Yeah.
mother tongue of one language and to be able to speak then English, because as you say, it has become the international language, the language we use all over the world. But as you know, isiZulu, isiXhosa, Afrikaans,
Yes.
there are all these other languages in our country. So this is brilliant. So you're an expert in that, in Setswana and in language. I mean, you've been teaching language for a long time.
English as well, yeah. And in fact, I want to empower the young ones. I'll cite a very quick example. Just yesterday, we had an unveiling of a tombstone in one of the villages, and there was a young boy, I think from grade 4 or grade 5. He was brilliant. He spoke about his great-grandmother and showering accolades on the great-grandmother, but unfortunately, he couldn't express it in Setswana. How lovely that would have been if he had been able to do that in Setswana and even throw a few lines of poetry, some poetry relating to the family and all of that. The grandfather does know all that, and he has tried by all means to instill that in them. You know what that means? If our children do know their own language, because in their language, there is embedded the culture, the customs, the traditions of who we are as a nation. As Botswana people, in our poetry, there is our culture there. In our language, there is our culture there. So the more our young ones speak the language, they're able to, it's a way of preserving our own culture and ensuring that even as we pass on, surely we all are going to pass on at some point, but our children will be having this wealth of knowledge in their own mother tongue. And I'm saying the emphasis is at the beginning, at basic level. It's not so much to ensure that they know high-flown Setswana language. No. We start with the communicative aspects, and we use a specific context. We allow learners, because they are more into English, because that is what they speak more often at school. We direct them, we lead them into understanding that when you meet with your grandma or your cousins or anybody within the relative setup, these are the ways you use. This is how you speak to elderly people. Remember, say for instance in Setswana, it is considered a very respectful way of speaking if at the end of the sentence you end up with ma or ra or ntate, dumela ntate, dumela ra. So in our culture, I can't say as a young person, if I'm younger than you, I can't be saying to you, hi Chris. No, in English you just say hi Chris. But in Setswana, I've got to say dumela ntate Chris, dumela me Juliera, dumela me Georgina, all those kinds of. When you end with the name of an elder person that you're speaking to, it's regarded as being respectful. Now you see, these are the little things that are part and parcel of our traditions, customs, and culture, which we want to preserve. And our tutoring is intended to go that route, to say, no, it's not just only about the words, the phrases, the sentences. It's about being proud of who we are as Botswana people. Well, in other instances, it would be an isiXhosa speaking person, isiZulu speaking person. We want to preserve all of these kind of things. And my tutoring is going to be very basic. I start with little context, the context within the family, the context with friends, the context at school, in a football match, all those kinds of things. And when we throw in the words and the phrases, we throw in those words and phrases that are related and relevant and linked to that particular context. So it will be very interesting to see if more and more people come forward and say, hey, you have hit it right on the head. I want my children to have the basic understanding of my mother tongue. Remember, I'm talking here about kids who are born mostly to parents who are, in most instances, both Setswana speaking. But because they've been taken to a former Model C school, okay, it's not of their choice. It's because the parents have chosen that school for other reasons, which are also very good reasons. But then they have to speak their mother tongue.
I think that's brilliant. I think the brilliant thing is to have both, Rejoice, as I see it, because this enriches your culture. It enriches the way you think. My son, who's obviously an English-speaking South African, he was born here. My family is English-speaking. He married a German lady. They have 2 daughters, and these daughters, my granddaughters, are 9 years old and 5 years old. They speak fluent English and German. They speak.
I would love to see.
It's brilliant. It's wonderful.
It's brilliant.
They speak German to their mother. They turn to me. They call me Mkulu, actually. They turn to me because my son works with a lot of Xhosa people in the Cape, and he's taught them to call me Mkulu and explain that is a term of respect.
isiZulu. It's a sign of respect because you are the grandfather.
Yes, that's right. I'm very aware of
and
that.
I would love to see a situation where young Setswana boys and girls speak very good English wherever they are at school level or elsewhere. But when they get back home, they can then switch over so easily to speak the very best of Setswana they can master. And that's where we come in.
Brilliant. So that's your passion, Rejoice.
That's my passion.
Very excited to have you on the Blue Line Frontier group.
Thank you very much.
As a tutor, you bring that passion for language as it relates to culture, as it relates to your upbringing and your background. This is so important. So it's a very
things that we should all be proud of.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. So I'm going to finish off the interview because we have a limited time here. So it's my great privilege to welcome and introduce to you Rejoice, who's comes to us with a very, very accomplished background in language, Setswana, English, etc. And please find out more about the Blue Path Frontier Online Academy, where you can be assisted with all sorts of things that you want tutoring in and that you want to know more about. So Rejoice, thank you very much indeed. It's very good to meet you, and we will be talking again sometime.
Have a great day, Chris.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much.